Interview with Kirk Cousins. We, of course, are going to have more on that coming up here in the 6:45 hour on Sunrise. Meanwhile, let's say good morning to Guy Brown at 6 o'clock. Nice start to our Tuesday.
It sure is. We are in the dawn hours this morning. First little bit of daylight. Temperatures right now are in the low 60s, mostly clear skies, and wind speeds nice and calm. Dew points nice and comfortable. So all this means is this morning, enjoy it. Sunshine will build throughout the morning hours. Maybe a little haze. Most of it will stay north of 94, and that also impacts the air quality alerts or air quality in northern Minnesota, where air quality alerts are present. 79 by 11 a.m. and again sun. Mostly sunny today, quiet and lovely. Tomorrow a chance for storms, 83. Going into Thursday, a better chance for storms Thursday evening, that is. And some of those storms could be on the strong side. So I mentioned the air quality alerts, and you can see that here where those air quality alerts are present. You can see Brainerd, Grand Rapids, Bemidji, Alexandria, all included, unhealthy for sensitive groups. More on that throughout the show. Alicia?
We'll check back in a bit. Thanks, Guy. And giving you a look at the metro map, seen all green, no crashes to report within the Twin Cities metro. There was one on 35 on Stacy in the northbound lanes at 35. Also the morning rush starting to get a little bit more crowded. Southbound 100 right here in Golden Valley, getting a little bit more crowded here at Duluth Street. Well, this morning, the Minneapolis Police Department kicks off its first full day running as two separate divisions. Now, CC Chief O'Hara is calling this the biggest change the department structure has seen in the modern era. But what does it mean for people that live in Minneapolis?
Yeah, good morning, Alicia. So Chief O'Hara says that this change will offer greater accountability and also transparency, something that's been called for in the community. The chief also adds that he's confident that the people who he chose to lead these two divisions are the right people to help move MPD forward. So here's how this plan will play out. MPD is now splitting into two. One division will oversee operations, including patrol and investigations. The other division will oversee community trust and engagement. O'Hara promoted Katie Blackwell to lead the operations division. She's a 23-year veteran of MPD. O'Hara named Christopher Gators as the assistant chief for the community trust division, and he's a 29-year veteran of MPD.
You don't get anywhere with community unless you listen, and we have taken the time to listen. The chief has taken the time to put together strategies and different concepts that we have not seen here in the city before. And he's brought them in from the East Coast and kind of married them up with what we were doing well in the past. And the big thing for us is to make certain that we put this into action.
Now, MPD needed both a change in state law and then approval from the city council to make this restructuring happen. Alicia.
All right, CC reporting live for us. Thank you. Well, the final sentence stemming from the murder of George Floyd is now set. Here are the details.
I'm Lou Raguse. Former Minneapolis police officer Tou Thao was sentenced to 57 months in prison for his role in the death of George Floyd. Judge Peter Cahill found Tou Thao guilty of aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. Thao did not apologize or show much remorse in court, something that Judge Cahill noted. George Floyd's family was not present in court. Prosecutors said that they are now choosing to grieve in private.
Thao was already serving a federal term, and this sentence will likely add a couple more months of actual time behind bars. And now that all former Minneapolis officers involved in Floyd's death are sentenced at the state and federal level, people invested in the neighborhood where he was killed, reflecting on this years-long legal chapter coming to an end. They say their work towards racial justice is far from over.
The movement never stops. It constantly happened to African American people. We want to be mindful. Just because we get an inkling piece of justice, that does not mean that we receive justice.
People working in George Floyd Square asked tourists not to show up empty-handed, but to bring donations such as money and books if they can. Well, in 3 hours, a judge will sentence Terry Brown for his role in a mass shootout at the St. Paul Truck Park Bar back in 2021. It left an innocent woman dead and 15 others injured. Brown claimed self-defense against Devondre Phillips, who was shown shooting at Brown's friend in the club. Now, Phillips was convicted of attempted murder back in February. All eyes on a Wisconsin courtroom this morning. In just a few hours, the second day of hearings will start in the Lily Peters murder case. The 10-year-old was reported missing in April of 2022. The next morning, her body was found in the woods close to her home. A 15-year-old suspect is charged as an adult in the case with first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of sexual assault. His attorneys are pushing to have the case moved to juvenile court. An update this morning in the case of a state representative arrested on suspicion of drunk driving. Within the last 12 hours, the Kanabec County Attorney's Office confirmed Representative Dan Wolgamott had a blood alcohol level of .099 when he was pulled over in Mora last month. He's now facing 2 misdemeanor citations. At the time, State Patrol spotted his car weaving on Highway 23 without a front license plate and expired rear tabs. Wolgamott sent us a statement that says, in part, "I take full responsibility for my actions and I ask for your forgiveness. I will continue to do the work I need to ensure nothing like this ever happens again and that my actions live up to the trust you have placed in me." We'll take a look at your screen right now. If you have these salad products in your fridge, throw them out. They're being recalled because the products might contain deer feces. Health officials say some of them were sold in Minnesota and in Wisconsin, have sell-by dates for later this week. So far, thankfully, no one's gotten sick. But again, if you have these products, throw them out. This morning, a new Minnesota state law is making it easier to outline your wishes after you're gone. It streamlines the process entirely online, making Minnesota the 13th state to do so. Experts say it's not just for the wealthy or elderly, and that everyone 18 and over should have one. The step-by-step process also makes the process convenient, affordable, and it's entirely online. Fewer than 1/3 of Americans have a will. That requires several witnesses and signatures on usually printed documents.
People are going to be grieving in their own way, and that creates a unique opportunity for conflict. And that's one nice thing about this is it's an option.
Concerns about fraud still exists and is one reason some states are hesitant to pass a law like this one. But attorneys are saying they use something called knowledge-based authentication to prove your identity that other services use, like DocuSign, if you ever opened a new account or completed a loan transaction online. All right, 6:07 is your time. A live look from Sturgis, South Dakota right now. Pretty quiet. Not seeing any motorcyclists right now, but we're a little more than halfway through the 83rd annual motorcycle rally that takes place there. Live concerts and other events will wrap up on August 13th. But yeah, pretty quiet there. And live look. Nice to see. All right, right now the beach at Carver Lake is closed because of blue-green algae. This stuff is gross. The blooms were first found 24 hours ago. So if you or your pets feel sick because of contact with lake water, go to the doctor immediately. Now, for kids participating in Camp Carver, non-beach related water activities are still scheduled, so still plan accordingly for that. All right, let's take a